Okay, it is time to talk about the emergency fund, and I do not want to do this video. Okay, look, I'm going to do this, but for all of you Taylor Swifty level Dave Ramsey fans out here, just do me a favor and just turn this off, because I just get tired of dealing with you guys in the comments sometimes. Look, it's not for you. Just go listen blindly to him. It's totally fine. This is just my opinion, and yeah, this is just for everybody else, okay? It's not for you. Go away. Okay, hopefully they are gone now. So let's get into this 2-minute money on emergency funds. All right, so my first beef that I have with emergency fund is the term itself, because in the financial community, we really just kind of throw it around and it means like a bunch of different things, and it's really annoying. So I'm here to kind of try to set a new bar for everybody. An emergency fund needs to be exactly what it sounds like. It's an emergency. You popped 4 tires one day. You had a medical deductible that kind of showed up that you totally forgot about. Whatever the case is, it's a small amount of money to pay off something that you weren't expecting. Emergency fund, right? What I don't like is when we start talking about how you're saving up 3, 6, 12 months worth of monthly expenses, and we're still calling that an emergency fund, because that does that a disservice. I call that the financial foundation, because when you're building up wealth, 3, 6, 12 months, however much you're saving up of monthly expenses, that is the foundation for which you are going to build the rest of your wealth. So I really think that we just need to stop being lazy about this and then calling that an emergency fund too, because it does so much more than that. So now let's talk about how much the emergency fund should be. So for years, certain gurus have gone around and have been saying that your emergency fund needs to be $1,000. Okay, sure. 30 years ago, that worked out pretty well. But the problem is there's this thing called inflation. And over the past 30 years, we have had dramatic amounts of inflation, which means the things you could buy for $1,000, you can't get for half that now. So if you could get 4 tires for $1,000 back then, you might only be able to get 2 now. So now what I recommend for people is that we take that $1,000 and we just adjust it for inflation, which is about $2,500 right now. So if you have $0 in your savings and you're trying to get your finances back in order, start with $2,500. Just get, stop paying off debt aggressively, doing all that. Get $2,500 in your bank account, and then that is your emergency fund. And then guess what? Check back with me in a couple years. I'm going to change that number to $3,000. Why? Because I want to do what's smart, not what's catchy. And if you ask me for advice from 30 years ago on how to make a video, I would tell you to hold a big old freaking VHS camcorder and walk around and do that. You're not going to listen to me for video advice anymore, because that's ridiculous. Well, it's the same thing with money. Things change. So we shouldn't be taking 30-year-old money advice and then applying it today. We have to adjust. So there you go. Emergency fund, $2,500.